morning, good morning. Okay, here we are in middle of Perek Beis. We're up to Mishna test. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai Kibul Mehil V'Shamai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was the next on the order. If you learned a lot of Torah, do not pat yourself on the back and take credit. That's why you were created. Imagine you have a guy who, he's hired to do a job, and he does his job, even if he does it nicely. He's not going to walk around the rest of the day saying, I did my job, and hey, you owe me big time because I did my job. I know I owe you big time, but I don't owe you big time. I hired you to do a job and you did it. Congratulations. But it's not even, it's more than that. We have to realize that Hashem doesn't owe us anything. Every single thing that we do is only because Hashem created us. This is something that we have to really, really focus on. Anytime somebody does something good, he's like, okay, God, now you owe me big time. Do you know how much I did for you? Whoa. Just imagine you have this person who has his ant farm in his room. And he goes ahead and he gives them water and he gives them anything. Imagine an ant goes ahead and says, hey, sir, I didn't bite my friend's leg because of you. Like, okay. So you owe me now. I owe you? I'm the one who created you. I give you water every single day. I give you air every single day. I house you. I do every single thing for you. And I owe you because you didn't bite your friend's leg? Thank you very much. That's exactly what I want. I don't want you to bite your friend's leg. Now, we're not even yet. I give you water. I give you food. So don't think that you're so great. Even if you do everything good, even if you learn all day long, don't think you're too great because that's why you were created. You're just doing bare minimum of what you should be doing. And even then. So imagine the ant is good. The ant is like, hey buddy, I don't owe you nothing. That's the first in Mishna Yud. Mishna Yud goes ahead, Chamishim, Talmidim Hayulel Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had 5 students. Be'eluhain, Rabbi Elazar ben Harkanis, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, Rabbi Yossi HaKohen, Rabbi Shimon ben Nesanel, and Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, which is really an introduction to Mishna Yud Aleph. In the other Mishnahs, it's one big Mishnah. Hu Hayamayna Shivcha, and he used to pray. He used to elaborate about their praises. Rabbi Elazar ben Harkanis is Bar Sud. It was a pit that was sealed. She'enam abatiba. It never lost a drop. He used to remember everything, not because he had a photographic memory, but because he worked so hard. They say about Rav Moshe. He says, I don't have such a great head. I just reviewed everything within the last 30 days. And they say about Rabbi Vadia Yosef, he was known to have a phenomenal memory. Somebody asked him, like, back when we were in grade school, you weren't like, how do you remember everything? He's like, when we were in 6th grade together, we learned Maseches Gittin, right? Yeah. How many times did you review it in 6th grade? So he said, in 6th grade, I did it 90 times. Oh, that's why he remembers everything. Rabbi Shua ben Chananya, Ashri Eladatoi, happy is the one who gave birth to him. It's an interesting praise. It doesn't say what's good about him, but apparently he was an overall good person. The point is, the Gemara, the Mefarshim explain on this one that his mother put so much effort into bringing him up. From the time he was conceived, she used to daven for him. She used to go to get brachas for him. And as soon as he was born, she brought him to the base medrash. So happy is the mother who put so much into her child, and this is the product. Yossi HaKohen is a chassid. He's a pious one. He went over and above. You have to learn the whole Mesilas Yesharim and what Chassidus is all about. Shimon ben Nesanel is Yerei Chet. He was one who was fearful of sin. We see that these praises are not necessarily, in learning. Interesting. And Elazar ben Arach is K'ma'ayin Miskaber. He was like somebody who kept getting stronger and stronger. In other words, he wasn't like Rabbi Elazar ben Harkanis, who never forgot anything. He himself kept on being mechadish, new stuff. He was very innovative in his learning. What we see from this Mishnah is that he enumerated their praises all the time. He let them know what he thought about them. He let people know. If you have something to say nice about somebody else, he didn't keep it inside. He said, wow, you're really amazing. And he used to tell them what their praises were. And he used to be specific. If a person knows something about his spouse, that she has something special or he has something special, you go ahead and you elaborate on it. You tell them, I really appreciate this about you. I see this quality in you that is phenomenal. And that's what this is obviously maybe not the point of the Mishnah, but at least that's what we see from the Mishnah. Mishnah Yud Beis, who are you Eimer? Im you kol chachmei Yisrael b'kaf mazaim. If all of the scholars in Klal Yisrael were on a scale, on one pan of the scale, but Eliezer ben Harkanis, the one who in the previous Mishnah was known to remember everything, was b'kaf shniya, was on the second one, machriya es kulam. He would be equal to all of them. Abashol sometimes said over his name. If all of the scholars in Klal Yisrael were on one pan of a scale, and Eliezer ben Harkanis Afimam, and even Eliezer ben Harkanis Sometimes Rabbi Yochanan went ahead and he said it was the opposite. The other other people were greater than Rabbi Elazar ben Hurkas, and Rabbi Elazar ben Aruch, the one who in the previous Mishnah was known to be super innovative in his learning, was on the second side of the scale. He would outweigh all of them. Machriya es kulam. So the point of this Mishnah is that everybody has their own milas, and in a sometimes specific milas help in different situations. So it's not a stira. You're right. Rabbi Yochanan sometimes said this person's the greatest, and sometimes said that person's the greatest, because sometimes this mila is so important. Sometimes that mila is so important. You need different people for different things. Sometimes you need the Pesach Hador. Sometimes you need the Miyayetz Hador. Sometimes you need the Gadol Hador. Sometimes you need the fighter of the Dar. So everybody and every midah has its own time to shine. So he wasn't making a stira, he was just saying at times this person who remembers everything is the one who is good enough or usable to give over the Messiah. Sometimes the innovative person needs to be at the head. Yud Gimel. Go and see what is a good path to choose for a person to go ahead. So in other words, you're able to choose your path, and you're able to decide what's a good midah. People are not born with midas. You are born with midas, but you are able to choose them, and you're able to go and inculcate them in yourself. And so he says, Rabbi Elazar, go out into the world and see from experience and see how people survive and what is a good midah to develop in your own self. Rabbi Elazar Amar Ayin Tova, seeing things in a good light, allowing other people to thrive, seeing, in other words, what you see in other people. Don't be jealous of another person. Another person wins the lottery or another person makes it great. Be happy for him. Look at them in a good eye. Don't be jealous. Be satisfied with what you have. And this is why it's such a good midah, because this way you'll be genuinely happy for other people. You will get other friends. You'll get far in life. And you won't live with jealousy. You'll be satisfied with what you have. And that's why it's such a good midah. The next Mishnah is going to bring the opposite, and we'll see the opposite of this. Rabbi Shu Amar Chaver Tov, have a good friend. Like we've spoken out several times already. Having a good friend is somebody who will be able to help you climb. You'll be able to climb off your friend. You'll be able to learn from him important things. Rabbi Yosef Amar Shachin Tov, the difference between a friend and a shachin and a neighbor. You're not a friend. You have direct and deep connection, but you meet him. Maybe you could meet a friend maybe once a month, and you could still have a deep connection with him. However, a neighbor is somebody that you have subtle. You learn from him subtly every single day. Even if you don't have such a major shaykhus to him, but subtly over time you change. So therefore it's even more important than having a good friend is having a good neighbor. This again is like we spoke out, specifically if you meet him, if you never see your neighbor at all, then maybe not. But if you go ahead and you go to a shul, even if you're not, and in the shul there are people higher or lower than you, you will eventually acclimate to that level of the people, even though it's more subtle than having a good friend and having a long conversation with them and changing your opinions automatically. So that's why it's also important. Rabbi Shu Amar Araya Esanayla, somebody who sees the future. This is more of a calculated sense. Someone is able to calculate things. Not only are they doing things with feelings, but they calculate things. Hey, this is a good idea. I think I should move here. I think I should do this. So somebody who goes through life with a calculation. And Rabbi Elazar Amar Leiv Tov, having a good heart. He says this is the most important thing. Having good midas. The heart is the thing that chooses, that pushes your desire. And it's more important than all of these things. It's more important than having, he says, I see this last opinion more than all of yours, because in his words include your words. And the reason is because if you go ahead and you have a good heart and your feelings, then you will calculate things differently, as we know. That's A. And B, you yourself will be able to, if you have a good heart, then naturally you will try to go and acclimate to good things, to good neighbors, to good friends. But what's so important is to note that these things are in your hands. You have the ability to decide what you want to do and the feelings that you want to have. My kid the other day said, I don't like this, chicken. I don't like eggs. I don't like this. I'm like, you know what? Liking or not liking something is in your choice. From now on, when you take chicken, I want you to say, I do like it. And you know what? You will eventually like it. That's how people start to like beer. That's like smoking. Go ahead and decide, I do like it. And you will eventually like it. From now on, I'm not accepting I don't like it. And because all these things, what you like, what you don't like, even in taste, is within your grasp. And even though it's late, I just want to finish off the next Mishnah because it's really the opposite. I mean, not really, but it's really the opposite of what was just stated here. Go and see a bad path. Rabbi Lezer Amar Ayin Ra, bad eye. Rabbi Yeshua Amar Chavara. Rabbi Yossi Amar Shachin Ra, bad neighbor. Rabbi Shimon Amar Haloiv Ve'ein Mishalim, somebody who borrows and he doesn't pay back. Meaning he's so short-sighted in things. He's borrowing, and like, I won't pay back. Okay, that's going to help you now. You'll make a short-term loan and a more short-term gain. But long-term, you're not going to have any friends. You're not going to have any money. You're not going to be able to rely on anything. Guys like, who cares if my credit is bad? I'll tell you, because when you get married, you want to buy a house. You're not going to be able to have a mortgage. So yeah, you should think about long-term. It's the exact opposite of the previous thing where you're living life without a cheshbon. But tzaddik, as it says, and by the way, if you borrow from a person and you don't pay back, it's like you borrowed from Hashem, because the reason is because Hashem pays back that person, and now you owe Hashem. He's like your guarantor. Bad heart, and I'm sorry we took so long today, but have an amazing, amazing day.